world's a canvas painted in hues, 1,000 stories, a million views. Step outside the lines you've drawn, let the colors blend, a brand new dawn. Don't fear the shadows or the unknown. Seeds of wisdom are always sown. Embrace the paths you've never walked, each one a lesson, a door unlocked.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jay Shorey.
Hi guys, welcome to JQS Rocks 2025. So yeah, and as part of that, we've got some guests that are going to join us as part of today's event. So I'm going to introduce them to you. So the first up, we got a lady who is known for some short films, so Split, The Watchtower, Nightingale, and TV shows like Wolf, The Long Shadow. But some of you Doctor Who fans might know her most as April McLean in Class. The first guest is Sophie Hopkins. Wonderful. So, yes, and joining Sophie, we have a DOP director known for short films like Humans, Comic Timing, Last Song from Kabul, and feature films Letters to A, Tummy Ache, and High Water. And most known for Cow by Angela Arnold. Please welcome Magda Kowalczyk. And our third guest is an actor-director, quite known for, or you might have heard his voice in a number of video games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Final Fantasy 16, but he's also been in many TV shows, so Prisoners' Wives, Endeavour, Victoria, and also known for Natural 6. But most known perhaps as, I've given myself a word that I've got to try and pronounce, this is fun, Ethelwald. That might work, who knows, in The Last Kingdom. But please welcome to the stage, Harry McIntyre. Okay, and our fourth guest, actress and screenwriter, known for short films, On and Off, and a film that some of you might have heard of called Betrayed, and feature films Camping Trip, The Shamrock Spitfire, and Good Neighbours. But most recently getting well known as Rianne from Reservé. Please welcome Caitlin Cameron. And our final special guest is an up-and-coming screenwriter and director, known for short films like Night Smiles, The Disease, and Freedom. But you're going to hear much more about a film called Amelia, which is going to be coming out hopefully soon when we get round to it. But anyway, please do welcome to the stage Luke Mepham. And finally, we've got our host for our Q&A. She's the festival co-director of Brighton Rocks, the writer of Director's Notes, and also hosts Brighton Rocks One Night Stand, which isn't quite as crazy as it sounds, but we do enjoy going to any of those events. But please do welcome the host for the Q&A, Sarah Smith.
Hello, everybody. No, my one night stands are just a very clever marketing gimmick. It's when we put on specific films that we've loved outside of the festival and want to celebrate them and bring an audience to them. And it does exactly what I wanted, because people hear the name and they go, "What's that?" So there we go. So it's lovely to see a room full of you. We've got some incredible young filmmakers here, parents, fans, and it's going to be a great show. So I am going to start by inviting my wonderful panel to come and have a seat for our lovely discussion. So round of applause for the panel again, please. Okay, we've got various microphones dotted about, so hopefully none of us will fall over any of them. So I don't know if any of you know or have heard of these guys. Obviously, Jay gave them a great introduction, because I was going to ask them to introduce themselves, but that has all been done. So I've got some very sort of specific questions that I prepared, because all of these guys are working in sort of different fields, different genres, different roles. So it'll be really interesting for you to hear about their experiences, because I'm sure, as you all know, and this is something that I learnt quite late on, there is so much to do in film. You don't have to be a director or an actor. There is everything. So it's always fascinating to find out from people who are actually doing it. So I am going to start down at the end with Luke. So I know you've got a feature film coming soon that is horror vibes, shall we say? Yeah. So I'd love to know about you as a director. What do you look for in a horror film in terms of how do you plan your colours and the look and the feel of it? Because everyone knows what a horror is.
I've always been a fan of pulling the rug from underneath the viewers, having the twist ending. And I found that if you go into a film knowing that it's a horror, you expect all the cliches and the trips that a horror film would bring. So I tend to look at it from a realistic drama side of it, to send you in with what's the term? False sense of security. You think you're going to be watching a drama, and then I come along and pull the rug from underneath you.
So you're fooling us.
That's it.
I mean, those films, personally, those are the kind of films that I love. You think you're watching something and you're sat there and then you're like, what? It's something else. Which is, again, is sort of testament to the power of filmmaking and the power of these industry people. So I'm intrigued by that. Right, Sophie, we're going to lead next to you as you are sat there. So you recently were in Class, which was a great part of the Doctor Who franchise. I'm sure all of us here know Doctor Who. So tell us a bit about working on that and your experiences there.
So that, bless you for saying recently, it was, Class was one of the first jobs, like professional jobs I'd done about 10 years ago. And there were 4 leads in it, and it was all our first biggest job. So it was my first time on a soundstage. It was my first time working with SFX. It was my first time working with Peter Capaldi, which was very exciting. And the studios we were next to was Sherlock and Doctor Who that were filming at the same time, which was so cool. And we were just, we were very excited the whole way through, and it was a really lovely shoot.
So how was that? So your first sort of big professional job, and you're going right up there. What was it like? Were you well supported? Was there lots of help given?
There was. I personally have a lovely team and very good friends, which in the film industry is quite important, to have friends that understand that you might flake on some events because you're freelance and you have to take the work when it comes. And because we were all in it together, it was such a family, the whole crew. We really brought each other up, and it was very supportive.
That's what we want to hear. all film sets, all TV sets, everything should be supportive. That is what you should expect. So young filmmakers, don't take anything less. Right, Magda, seeing as you are sat right there, have you got a microphone?
I have a microphone.
Wonderful.
And a daughter.
I mean, I'm sure she has a lot to say. So I'd love to know, so obviously you worked on Andrea Arnold's Cow, so that's very kind of realism, you know, it's very observational filmmaking, but then you've also been DAP on sci-fi films. So tell us about your different approach to very different looking content.
So I don't know what drives me really to specific genre, but what I know is I just want to film. I want to film. I cannot live without my camera. I even have trying to have it all the time on me. And with Andrea Arnold, I knew her work before, so I knew what she wanted, and that was very important for me, and I think for her as well. And then I just wanted to improve. I wanted to make something different, so I wanted to swap to more stylized films. And now I'm rediscovering documentaries and rediscovering very stylized films again.
Nice, so it's just, you know, it sort of ebbs and flows, whatever you feel like working in.
Yes, and it's also like what every freelancer again, it is like as well a balance between who calls and who doesn't.
Yeah.
It's very important to have friends, so I'm very happy to hear you have very good experience. My experience varies. Sometimes I didn't have good experiences, but I noticed there's a trend now to be a good person as well on the set.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yes. And I mean, unfortunately, what some people here and a lot of you young ones don't, this wasn't the norm. So, you know, there are a lot of people sat here and who are here who have had to fight to be respected, to have fair working hours and all of these incredibly important things. So bear that in mind. And if anyone tells you otherwise, push back, you know, really do. It's for you guys, the young ones, to really bring this up because we're a bit tired. We've been doing it for a while. Right, Harry, hi. Oh, we've got lots of mics, guys. So I know that you've done some live action and then you do a lot of voice acting. I'd love to know how you approach those differently.
Yeah, so I mean, I really have a theatre background is where I started. And I was a theatre and TV actor for about 15 years. And then the opportunity came thanks to a TV show that I did to move into voice work. In all kinds of different ways. So sometimes that might be foreign language shows that you're dubbing. Sometimes it might be animation. Sometimes it might be games. Typically, I mean they're the sort of, if you like, the glamour versions of it. Although there are many other ways of making money that are slightly less exciting, but you can do more regularly. And I think what you find particularly interesting. I'm not someone who trained. I didn't go to drama school or anything like that. So everything I've done, I've learned by being in rooms with much better people than me and much more experienced people than me. And it's a strange mix that you need, I think, to do anything that we do. It's a strange mix of a solid enough ego that you believe you deserve to be in a room and enough humility to recognize that if you are the least experienced person in that room, it is right that you put yourself in a position where you're looking to learn rather than to teach. And that really the only frightening thing, I think, in any creative industry is the idea that the first job you ever do is the best you're ever going to be. What a sad indictment that is of your ability to grow. So really in those early stages of your career, or even when I transitioned from screen into more voice work, it's about seeing why other people are more successful at it than me, figuring out what works for them, and honestly just stealing things, asking questions. People love to feel like an expert as well. There's nothing more flattering as someone on set than someone coming up to you and saying, I really loved that. Can you talk me through what you were thinking in any aspect of what you do, creatively or otherwise? So, I mean, I could give you some waffle about technical stuff, but I think really on a holistic sense, I think what's more important is just to sort of approach it with a desire to learn and an excitement at the idea that even though today this is the best you can do, if you keep growing, you'll get to a point where one day you'll look back on today's best and go, God, that wasn't very good. And actually, that's really encouraging, I think.
Yeah, no, that's really healthy. And sort of, you know, lots of filmmakers I know, you know, my partner's a filmmaker and works in film. He won't show me the first film he ever made. He refuses. He's like, nobody will ever see it. It'll never see the light of day. Which, you know, I am determined to find it. But yeah, so there you go. So just think, these films you're making now, which I have seen and are amazing, and you have every right to be so proud of, but just think, like maybe 10 years, you'll be at a different film festival, you'll be there with a different film, you might be sitting on one of these panels, and then you'll be thinking about this first film. So that's a nice prospect, eh? There we go. Right, Caitlin, here we go. So I have obviously seen your talents on screen, but you're also a screenwriter. So, I mean, I'm always interested in multi-hyphenates, which a lot of you will become. How does your acting, were you an actor first and then screenwriter?
Yes.
So how did that feed in?
So I think it was probably just the very classic, I was reading scripts or I was going for auditions, and sometimes there were auditions for really good things, and I was like, this script is just crap. Like, it's just not very good. Or like the female parts especially were just really poorly or boringly written. And I was like, I don't want to play a character whose only purpose is to further the male story and has like 3 lines if I'm lucky and has no emotional arc. There's absolutely nothing going on. And yet I'm like fighting for these roles and I'm being like, please just cast me, like give me those 3 lines. And I was just really bored. I think probably all the women on this panel are like, yep, there we go, that sounds about right. And I was just really sick of it. I was just like, this is boring. I know the kind of characters I want to play, and I was like waiting for them to come along or waiting to see a breakdown. I was like, oh, that's got an element of something that I want to do, or that's a genre that I want to do. And then I was like, why am I not just doing this myself? I feel like I can give it a go. And then the first couple of scripts I wrote were awful and will never see the light of day. And then I got really lucky. I got to collaborate with Jay on a short film, and we'd shot half of it a few years before, and he came to me and he said, I think we're going to do a bit more. And I was like, I don't want to be a diva, but can I write it? Just so I can have a go. And if you hate it, that's fine. We'll scrap it and we'll pretend it never happened. And I was really lucky because he was so collaborative, and he said, yeah, absolutely, we'll give it a go. We kind of talked through the story. We had lots of sort of creative discussions, yeses and nos, and then I wrote something. We were really happy with it, went to rehearsal, cut 3/4 of the dialogue, and then we shot it. And actually it really, really worked. And I was like, oh, maybe this is something I can do. And then I just kind of kept writing, and I'm still writing. And some stuff I write and I think, oh God, that's really awful. I don't know why I'm calling myself a screenwriter. That's so embarrassing. And then other times I'll write something and think, oh, I'm actually really proud of that. That really does. Every character has an emotional journey, and all of the women are like 3-dimensional. All of the men are 3-dimensional. And I feel like it's got a purpose. So yeah, it kind of, because acting wasn't going exactly how I wanted it to. And then I think actually from that, I've now met lots of people who have given me opportunities to do little bits of writing or to do more acting. And so it's all kind of fed into each other.
Yeah, and that's a massive lesson in putting yourself out there. And if there's something that you think you'd like to get involved with or to try, go speak to someone and go ask. And, you know, we are in an industry where we might not all be millionaires, but there are so many cool opportunities for us. And you will never be bored working in filmmaking, not for a single moment. So that is good. Right, Caitlin, can I have a quick time check? Because I didn't forget my watch. I never wear a watch. So we have sort of 5 more minutes left before the films are going to come on. So I know I could ask all of these lovely people a lot more, but what I'm going to do is ask them each to give their one piece of advice to you as emerging filmmakers. So that can be in any part of your experience, whatever you've done, but one key piece of advice. And Luke, we'll start down with you, please.
watch films, learn from them, read scripts, learn from them. You learn how to format a script that way, and for a director's point, your name is on top of the call sheet, but you have a whole team of people keeping that film alive. So don't forget who you are, and don't forget your roots.
Just to hop onto that with watching film, for 5 years, when I moved to London, I worked in independent cinema, and that was the best education in film that I had, because there wasn't anything like what you're running, Jay, up north, or then they're just, you're brilliant for doing this. But when you work in an independent cinema, you get free film, you meet like-minded people, and we just created together because there was everything you needed to put a production together. There were actors, there were editors, there was directors, there was set designers. We had the whole crew working as a team there, so that was a really good place to start. I have 2 advices. Yeah. Just do it. Keep doing that. And find friends. So you will be with a good team.
People have sort of touched on this already in previous answers. If you allow me one very quick anecdote. So I did a TV show, and it was the biggest show I'd ever worked on, and it was, for most of the people around the table on the first read-through of Series 1, the biggest show they'd ever worked on. And tempers can fray, and egos can really come to the fore in situations like that. And the director was asked if he wanted to say anything to the cast and the crew, and he said, yes, I would like to remind everyone that everyone in this room is here because they deserve to be in this room. And that means that the runners are really good, and that means that the actors are really good, and it means that the makeup team are really good, and therefore everyone deserves to be treated with respect, and you're all good people, and we'll be demanding that of you. And it's an industry that too often accommodates or even celebrates terrible behavior as part of an artistic process. That you can't be brilliant unless you're allowed to be awful to people, and that is changing. And it's up to people to continue to demand that change. So whatever situation you're in, however early or late in your career you are, you always deserve and are allowed to demand to be treated with respect.
I was going to say something, but everyone else, I think, has kind of covered what I was going to say. So I'm going to go a totally different way. And I'm going to say, do not base your happiness on your success in this industry, because you will go through patches where you think, I'm actually never going to work again. Like, I've had quiet patches that have lasted 3 years. I've not had a job in 3 years. And I've just thought, what am I doing? I remember when the pandemic hit, I thought, that's my career over. I'm done. And it was heartbreaking and devastating. And then I got a call from a friend saying, hey, do you want to come work on a feature film in Canada during the pandemic? And I was like, oh, never mind, we're good. There we go. That made no sense, but let's go for it. So I think if you just go, the next job will make me happy, the next job will make me happy, you will never be happy. You have to find happiness outside of this industry because it's brutal. Like you were saying, people aren't always very nice. You're not going to get every job. Sometimes you'll walk into an audition. I've had it where I've walked into auditions and they've gone, see you in the recall. Or they've gone, you're perfect for this job. You're definitely going to get it. Oh my goodness, there's no way you're not going to get this. I had that for a TV show that would have been huge. Didn't get it. And then I've had other stuff where I've thought, not one person has even watched my audition, and you book it. And it's a really bizarre industry. So as we were saying earlier about find the people around you that bring you joy, find the things that bring you joy, have hobbies, don't get too caught up in the industry.
You guys are very inspiring. I'm feeling inspired. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I hope you've learned a little bit about different areas of the industry you can go to. And I hope you've learned some things that will keep you safe and happy in the future of filmmaking. Because also, my only piece of advice is keep making films. If you're doing it now and you love it, keep doing it. Even if, something else in life, I think all of us have had to have other jobs where it means, making the films or doing this side thing. It has to be on the side, but just do it. Because that'll keep you happy. And nowadays we've got phones, you've got everything. You can edit everything on your phone. So even if you just make a little stop motion film about, I'm sure some people know, a little Marcel the Shell with shoes on. Anyone seen the film? Yeah? I bought myself that because I love it. So sometimes I make little stop motions of him on my plants and it makes me happy. So there we go. So thank you guys. Another huge round of applause for the panel. So now we're going to come join you in the cinema and we are going to be watching these amazing films before the awards ceremony. So everybody enjoy the film.
When I was just a little lamb, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Cressida, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Cressida, what will be, will be.
Father, why would Mama kill herself?
Sometimes people make choices that we can't understand.
Couldn't Mama have stayed? Did she not love me? Can't I come with you?
Gold prospecting's no job for little lady. When I get back, I'll show you all the gold William and I found in Witwatersrand.
Please don't leave me too.
Dear Father, I believe you never did it. I can't lose you too. Help is a fortnight away. Your loving daughter, Eleanor. I'm here to see Mr. John Wright.
I've waited a fortnight.
And I've waited a decade for you. Patience is a virtue. No, officer, release him. He's done no wrong.
I cannot, miss. He's charged with murder.
My father wouldn't hurt a fly.
He killed his business partner. I found him dead! The evidence against you will ensure your soul will be separated from your body tomorrow.
When I find you two, I'm gonna kill you!
Father, where do we go? Father, this is not like you. Why are we here?
Well done, Eleanor. You just set me up for life. I'm gonna be rich. Now dig. I killed William just how off your mother.
You killed Mama. So she did love me. Did you ever love her?
She wouldn't let me gamble anymore. Her cantankerous behaviour drove me crazy and William was a control freak. I got her estate by default, but I was never any good at poker. You were all part of my objective to get a rich and idle lifestyle. But now, I have William's gold. Ever thought of murdering someone?
If I did, I'd never do it myself.
That was the last step. Nice seeing you again, little lady.
You can't just desert me.
Don't be so clingy. You played your part perfectly.
Wait. Here, to quench your thirst.
Gotta get back to England.
Fortunately, I know where that is.
I'm here to turn in Mr. John Wright.
Why did you hand him in? He's your father.
Nothing's to be preferred before justice.
Now that I'm fully grown up, I ask my father, what does he see? Am I pretty? Do I look rich? He said, you're just like me.
Dragon teeth. So was directed. So thinly and furrowed, 2 inches deep.
This place is not safe.
I was never here. I never saw this. I never saw anything like that. I was back at home. Ah!
Are you going to see Lincoln?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him for days. His car hasn't moved, he hasn't walked his dog, he hasn't even left his house. Somebody should really go and check on him.
Okay, yeah, I'll go check on him now.
Good luck. He probably won't answer.
Test failed. He lasted 2 weeks. Give or take a few days. Looks like he's been dead a while.
That is longer than usual.
I'm extracting his player information now. When I get back, I'll add it to the database.
Bring his body back to me. We can see how his health declined while playing the game.
Alright, I'll see you, Brett. I suppose I should start at the beginning. Yesterday, I was called upon by a close friend of mine to examine a crime scene. His dear sister had appeared to be murdered, and as I was a detective and was due for a visit anyway, I thought I'd stop by. I say appeared to be murdered because when I arrived at the crime scene, there was no body, though it was clear that there had been a struggle. I found blood all over the floor, and anything that could be knocked over was knocked over. But perhaps the most curious thing of all was that in place of a body, there was a coat, in a position that if someone had been wearing it, would have been very uncomfortable indeed. And what was even more worrying was that that particular coat happened to be one of mine. I decided to keep that bite of information to myself in worry of how it may appear, but it appeared I was being framed. Later that night, I found myself at my desk, looking over my notes, checking alibis, trying to build a suspect list. However, unfortunately, I seemed to be the most suspect person to come by that day. I chuckled a little bit at this, but then suddenly stopped as I realized that I could not recall where I was in the time frame of the murder. But of course, I couldn't have killed anyone. I would have remembered. To rid myself of these haunting thoughts, I turned my attention to my coat that somehow found itself in the middle of a crime scene. There was blood on the outside of the jacket, but not on the inside, as if it had been worn by the killer while viciously stabbing the victim. I checked the pockets and found a knife, the murder weapon. I rushed back to my desk to add all of this new information to my notes. It appears that someone stole my coat and left it at the crime scene to frame me. Or else the only other explanation, despite the absurdity of the claims, that my coat, after gaining self-awareness and autonomy, strolled out of my closet this morning and, struck by a homicidal rage, murdered the sweet Louise. Or else there is one more possibility.
What? I'm gonna end this wedding.
Really? Well, how exactly are you going to do that?
Just to see.
The boogie's sucking up the wedding! Oh no! This is serious!
Oh well, seems to be a normal day of my life to me. Wait, no.
Where am I? What is this place? Why are we falling?
It seems like the Froggers sucks have everything in the wedding, including us. Oh, I hope we'll still get married though. Oh, great. Nah. Guess it's just a normal day of my life. It isn't! No! All I wanted was a nice wedding to celebrate me and my wife's marriage. But instead, like always, it hasn't gone to plan. Somehow an unknown species of frog has sucked us up into its stomach. And let me tell you, with the power of its stomach acid, we won't last long.
Well, we have no time to cry. Let's spend the last few hours of our lives in a goodbye feast, using the other stuff the frog has sucked up.
You know what? That's an excellent idea. Let's get to it!
I wonder what those cats are up to now.
Everyone! Though the frog's stomach acid is slowly dissolving our fur and paws, we should spend these last few hours of our lives happy and cheerful until we die.
Oh, and of course, drink tea. Oops! Oops! No, my tea!
What's that feeling? It burns!
You know, I find it weird to think that if Bo didn't spill that tea, we'd all be dead by now. Yeah, this sure is a wedding to remember.
It sure is, my cutie.
It's all in there. Histories, politics, economics, everything you've asked for.
And you've been paid in full?
We need to go. We need to go now!
feelings in my chest pile up like books upon books upon books. They talk to themselves, interrupting, skipping chapters and pages and jumping to conclusions. The shelf will soon become weak and break. The books land stacked or spilled or meaninglessly. Their stories have been told too many times. They become sickening, soul-destroying. But the shelf might hold, stay, and prove wrong. They count the seconds to its downfall, but it balances the art in perfect order. The commentator springs to a stand and screams into his megaphone.
And it takes the lead! It is truly unbreakable!
Unbreakable. The neatness of staying in one place. In the perfect order. Settling. Reassuring. But the chaos roars louder. Overstimulation of a million bodies mumbling and intertwining and all discussing the same brilliant moment. The connection in the complexities. The perfect order fizzling out. The words whisper, inspire, relate and break and
Shout!
The truth. The unspoken. Writing something of honesty, for once not artificially coloured. The fear in all of our hearts is set free for a few sacred seconds. You've lived a lot. I can see it in your eyes, in the way you love, wise beyond your years, or just hiding the broken parts. The worn pages of your heart, torn in endless turning, endless using, but still the crucial part of the whole narrative. Without it, nothing flows. The books go back to their normal positions, the shelf not even strained. The feelings in my chest compartmentalize, hibernating until the fire burns hotter. They won't leave until they need a dip in the ocean to cool down. The stories end, and they simmer down into the abyss. The perfect order never existed.
I hope everybody enjoyed those films. I was blasted by them at the front. It was great, because I'd watched them all before, because I am one of your judges. But it was great to be able to be sat there first row of the cinema. So, without further ado, we're going to move on to the awards, aren't we, Jay? So I am going to invite our panel up again. I know I told you guys to stand here, but I think if we stand over this side, because otherwise we're going to be transitioning over the stage. because I'm going to be reading out the nominees. So if you guys make your way over there, and the categories, and then I will be handing over to these wonderful people who will be opening your envelope and revealing the winner. And then Jay has got some lovely prizes for you. So I hope everyone is ready.
So, best mise en scène goes to
Blacklisted Ollie Craighead.
Okay, so next category we have is Best Sound Design, which will be presented by Luke and Magda.
Vacation.
Come on, go over and up. Now, congratulations. So next, we have Best Characterization of a Screenplay, presented by Sophie and Caitlin.
So, best characterization in a screenplay goes to
Corpse Road, Bowden Fisher.
Is this a Zoom one by any chance? Ah, wonderful. Congratulations. This is great. Virtual awards, guys. We'll show Can how to do it. Okay, so next we have a Best Characterization in a Short Film. This is Harry and Magda presenting.
Let everyone know Bowden says thank you.
Ah, thank you.
Thank you, Bowden. Best characterization in a short film.
The perfect order.
Tilly Sue Murray, producer.
Congratulations. So hang on a minute. Come here. We've got a beautiful photographer. Stand there with your wonderful certificate and your prize. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. All right. Best cinematography. This will be presented by Luke and Sophie.
The award for Best Cinematography goes to... What will be? Anastasia Balambanos, producer.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Pose for your photo. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, now we have the Outstanding Achievement Award, and this will be presented by Jay and Caitlin.
Wonderful. So I did make a promise with myself that with any of these awards that I wouldn't actually judge, but I couldn't resist. so I did make one sort of thing, which is personally my favourite from the lot. Yes, please. So the winner of the Outstanding Achievement Award goes to Inanimate Crime Matilda Block. And she might be on the Zoom. So if she is,
well,
then
congratulations,
well
Matilda.
done. And I will get your trophy and certificate to you.
Wonderful. Okay. Oh, one of the big boys. Oh, yes. Wonderful. I'm loving this, and I'm loving your hand. Very efficient. Okay, guys. Big one. Best Director. And this is presented by Magda and Harry.
Very nervous. It's a big one.
Drum roll, drum roll. There
Very
we
good.
go,
Let's do a
there
drum
we
roll.
go.
A Wedding to Remember, Sebastian Ashfield.
Congratulations. Do you want to pose for a photo? So put your certificate in front. Yeah, let's get everyone there. Congratulations. You have a very creative mind. I think everyone will agree. Right, best screenplay. So this will be presented by Caitlin and Luke. Caitlin apparently, yeah, couldn't sit.
Best screenplay.
Best screenplay.
Mouse, Pearl Haig.
Congratulations. Okay, so to round, congratulations, yeah. So the final award of today for this fabulous partnership between Brighton Rocks and JQS is for the best short film. So this is going to be presented by Sophie and Harry.
Right. This is it, right? This is
This
the
one.
This is the one.
This is the one. Don't let big festivals tell you otherwise. Short films are mega.
And the winner is On Dissonance, Marcello Segui Gil. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations. So just before I let Jay take over the mic, I know our photographer's here. So all of the winners, if you could please stay in the room with your prizes and your certificates, because we want to take some more great photos with that as a backdrop. And finally, congratulations to all of you. This has been such a pleasure to judge and to sit on this panel, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Wonderful. Well, thanks, Sarah. So I do have two other frames here because everyone gets a frame if they attend and have put a film in. So Hayley, are you in attendance? There you go. I've got a frame for you as finalists. As finalists for best screenplay. So do you want a photo? Thank you very much. Well, and the other one for the day the world awoke, Rowan Barnes. as obviously finalist in Best Screenplay. So there's your certificate. Do you want to stand? Wonderful. Well done. As well, but I hope you've enjoyed JQS Rocks 2025 as much as I've enjoyed getting it together and the sleepless nights, etc. Of actually getting it underway. And we will, of course, do it again next year. And I hope to see you all then. But obviously, remember, anyone that's all the finalists, so all of you, if you do want to come up to the stage in a moment, and we'll do a group photo. But thank you all very much for coming along to JQS Rocks 2025.
Of wisdom are always sown. Embrace the past.